Hello, good afternoon. Our group is composed of myself, Yulith Andrea Salas Morales, Estefanía Gómez Osorio, and Miguel Ángel Alandete Castellón. The study titled Quality Improvement of a Casting Process Using Design of Experiments, conducted by Pons, Villa, Bermudez, and Hernandez, aims to analyze and improve the quality of the casting process used to manufacture pump impeller in a company producing gray cast iron components. The abstract explained that in order to reduce the number of a casting that fail to meet a customer specification, it is necessary not only to identify the process parameters associated with a specific defect but also to determine the optimal levels of those parameters to ensure the production of acceptable parts. Therefore, the main objective of the study is to optimize the production of impeller through the application of design of experiment DOI and response surface methodology RSM, focusing on clay percentage, moisture percentage, and mold hardness. In the introduction, the authors explained that salt casting is one of the oldest and most widely used methods for manufacturing metallic components. The process uses silica sand that must be mixed with clay and water to achieve the required wider causation and strength in the mold. However, the composition of this mixture requires continuous adjustments since variation in its properties can lead to defects in the cast part. Previous literature indicates that parameters such as grain strength, moisture, permeability, and mold hardness have a direct impact on the final quality of the product. In this context, properly controlling factors such as clay content, moisture content, and mold hardness becomes essential to prevent defect and achieve optimal process conditions. They understand the actual situation in the company and define the quality problem. The researcher collected production data from a 6-month period. Using this information, they constructed a Pareto chart which allowed them to identify the most frequent defects in the manufactured impellers. The analysis showed that the predominant defect was the blowhole, a type of internal cavity or bubble that significantly affect the integrity of the piece. This result confirmed that there was a critical issue in the process, generating rework, economic losses, and decreased production efficiency. After identifying the defect and in order to analyze the possible causes in depth, the researcher developed an Ishikawa diagram, also known as cause and effect diagram. These two made it possible to classify and organize the factors that could be generated blowhole within the casting process. After the analysis, the authors concluded that the variables with the greatest influence were three: the clay percentage in the mixture, the moisture percentage, and mold hardness. These variables were considered critical because of their fundamental role in the causation, permeability, and strength of the sand mold aspect directly related to the formation of defects in the cast parts. By clearly identifying the problem and its potential causes, the authors selected these three factors: clay, moisture, and mold hardness as study variables for the experimental design carried out in the next stage of the research. Thus, the first part of the work effectively introduced the topic. justified the need for the study, present the real defect problem observed in the casting, and describe how the main causes were identified through the use of the Pareto and Ishikawa quality tool, establishing the foundation for the experimental analysis developed in the subsequent phases.
Hello, my name is Estefanía Gómez Osorio, and today I'm going to talk about this project. So to carry out the experimental facet of the study, so the research began by preparing the mold required for each test condition. So according to the method, a mass of 400 kilograms of fresh dry model that was used for every experimental room. So though this base material, the corresponding qualities of clay and water were at the depending of the experimental level. So established for each factor between 8 and 16 kilograms of clay and between 12 and 20 liters of water. So the research also control the model harden maintain it within the acceptable range recommended by founder practice. When the mixture was prepared, it was used to produce 20 empire. Casting per room is of white was later impaired visually to identify whether it was detected or acceptable. Though the factor selected for analysis were the same one identified early as the main contributor to the effect: white, clay percentage, moisture, and hardness. So these three parameters were evaluation systematical using a structure statistical design now has the boss bet. So design is a response surface methodology that allows the study of quadrant. So relationship between variable while requiring fewer factories that are full design. Once the experiment was complete, the research developed and response surface methodology. So model to quantify the relationship between the three factors and the portion of the tested component. So using the data explained from our experimental room as a order polynomial. So model was fitted, quadrant in iteration 2. The term for clay monster and model harness. So this model provides an equation capable of estimating the defect percent based on any combination or the three factor within the study range. So the mathematical model was validated to ensure the suitability for predicting quality outcome. To determine which factor has statistically significant effect on the percent of defect, an analysis of variance ANOVA was performed. The results showed in table 3 indicate that the most influential factors were clay percent and mold harness, both percent be evaluated. So below 0.05 months percentage although included in the model did not show a statistical significant influence of defect when considered independently. The ANOVA also revealed the quality associated with clay and mold hardness. So, we significant confirmed that the relationship between these variables, the percentage of defects was not currently linear.
Next, we look at the main result of optimization using response surface methodology. The research evaluated how the variables interacted with each other. The response surface graph showed that the clay percentage and mold hardness had the greatest effect on the production of defects. When these two variables were adjusted properly, that defects rate decreased significantly. The model predicted that the optimal combination of factors could reduce defects that approximately 1.63%. A residual analysis confirmed that the model was stable and reliable, meaning it can be used confidently for process improvement. To validate the result, the research carried out 12 confirmation tests using the optimal condition identified in the study. A total of 48 new castings were produced, and the result very positive. 96% of the castings were completed defect-free. This high success rate proof that the optimization parameter truly work in real operating conditions and can significantly improve quality in the foundry process. To conclude, this study demonstrated that controlling the clay percentage, the moisture percentage, and the mold hardness is essential to improve the quality of the casting process. The use of the seek of experiment combined with response surface methodology allowed the research to identify the optimal condition that reduced the defect rate significantly. With the optimized parameter, the foundry was able to decrease the number of detected pieces, reduce waste, and improve production efficiency. Finally, the methodology used in this study can be applied not only to the specific casting process, but also to the other industrial process that required quality improvement.